Hello, Fearless Gamers, and welcome to another episode of Touching Base here on Fearless Games. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing?
What's up?
Okay, so let's go right into the news. Biggest things are actually Fearless Games related. We've got a Twitter account.
Hooray!
So you can now follow us on Twitter.
We can now bother you.
Yes.
At all times.
Twittering is basically, what we're going to be using for Twitter is basically announcing when episodes are filmed, who's
When they're
posting
going up,
videos.
Special things we're doing.
Yep, you know,
Just
events, just like a basic,
General news
simple
feed,
news
yeah.
feed. And we
It's
also,
Twitter. What do you want from us?
we're,
Our daily lives.
and
Well,
we're,
that's what the Facebook's for.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
because we're also going to be doing Facebook now. We're going to put both links down in the description for our Facebook channel. That's going to be
there we
more personal, more in-depth, rather than new episode film, done.
Also,
You'll be able to get more clearly
interaction.
in touch with us, you know.
Yep.
You can post something on Facebook and
It's better
we'll
than,
definitely get to you.
It's better than the YouTube comments, because those are okay, but Facebook
The
actually
biggest
works
issue
better.
with YouTube comments is it's hard to figure out which comment you're responding to when you actually reply
Yeah.
to a comment.
We'll show up in your news feed. You can check out our timeline.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll,
be like a
show
backward
we'll show
stalker.
pictures of stuff that we're working on and fun stuff like that.
Because I've been working on something I
And-
need to show pictures of.
And also, as people probably seen, we do have a new battle report out, the Callus Run, which is a taste of things to come on the BFG line. And for those who are waiting, how to play BFG, new video coming up soon. Sorry about that. Also,
You should be sorry.
July 7th, we're going to be doing our first Titan v Titan match.
That's we're filming it.
Yes.
It's not going out on July 7th.
No, we're gonna be filming
But
it.
July 7th, Grasshopper Comics.
So if anyone's in the Williston Park area, come on down. We'll probably be there at around 12:30, and we're going to be there until it's over.
Isn't that also your birthday?
No, my birthday's Sunday. Is Sunday.
That's the day after.
Yep.
Well, the day after is his birthday. So like, show up, bring cake. You know, watch him get stumped by his Titan and his.
What we're going to be doing is it's going to be my Warhound Titan and my 1750 points of Guard versus his Warhound Titan and his 1750 points of Dark Angels. Who's going to be the better Titan? You have to watch to find out.
Guarantee you mine will explode itself because I have terrible luck when things are actually gonna get filmed.
It's true. I know how that feels. It's going to be a good old Helios versus Apollo fight.
Someone's
It's
gonna
big
flip
and
a
bad
table.
and awesome.
That's just good wargaming.
Just
Yeah.
good wargaming.
Just good wargaming.
And so stick around for that. And any other news before we go to the big thing?
Well, Mech Warrior, Battletech, same thing, right? Doesn't matter. Point is, Mech Warrior Online is a game coming out. It's kind of like a freemium game. You know, it's free to play, but you can buy in-game currency. You can do whatever you want to do, but it's free to play. They announced a founder program, and how that works is the game isn't out yet. But the founder program is you actually pay for the game at this point, or you pay like for an upgrade to the game, and it gets you a bunch of in-game items and content, like exclusives. Nothing's gonna break the bank for against somebody. Like, oh no, he's a founder, I can't win. Nothing like that. But it'll also give you some in-game stuff, some neat little perks here and there, and it'll get your name in the credits for the game, like it's part of founding the game. And it costs more money. I have different levels of doing it. I did it because I'm a Mech Warrior fanatic, and
That you are.
and it's just, I thought it was a cool way of trying to get money out of people for a freemium game without just going, well, if you want the cool thing, you gotta spend money for it. It's more like, hey, you can become part of us launching this and be a part of it, which is pretty cool. And you know, it gives them more of a budget to do more stuff for you guys.
Any other big news going out?
Well, it's a bit more of a stretch, but Pokemon Conquest just came out this past week. Now, I know, you're probably sitting there going, Pokemon. But
Well, it's got card games, it counts.
it plays like a Final Fantasy Tactics Ogre kind of game, so I consider it related. If you're into that style of gameplay, absolutely worth picking up. There's not really much else to say. I might do a video on it myself because I really enjoy the game, but just came out this past Monday or Tuesday, so check it out if you're into it.
And so now the big old news / topic of the day, 6th Ed has been announced for June 30th.
It's time.
Pre-orders are out. They've got 3 variants. They've got the regular edition, which is what?
70-something.
$70-something. Then the collector's edition, which is
130.
which comes in a box, this really cool display box, and it's written on parchment or something.
It's got gold,
the gold lining.
Gold lining on the pages. It's very nice.
And then for 123 and change, there's the gamer's edition, my personal favorite, and I believe you bought that one.
I did.
It comes with a case,
Has a satchel.
bag for the
I
book.
love the word satchel.
It's got a little servo skull objective marker holders with little objective dice, which come in a last pistol clip, which I think is awesome. It's a great, cool thing. If you're really big into the whole wargaming-like stuff, I think it's worth the extra money.
If you really want to be that kind of silly guys, has a little bit extra money and a little bit more flash to their codex or their gaming stuff.
Or if your parents are big into giving you birthday money or something like that, that's what you can spend it on.
And if you really don't want to have a date for Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I feel I got the collectors.
Well,
I can't afford any of it.
Well, you just got a book. You know, he looks worse because he's got a bag and dice and stuff.
He's got a satchel and he can't stop saying the word satchel.
I love the word satchel.
Satchel?
Satchel.
And
I can't make my list any worse.
And so, why do I work with you people?
We're your friends, unfortunately.
This doesn't work for you.
And so,
Yeah.
what they've also done is in the latest White Dwarf, they've given us previews of the new
But let's hold it up one more time.
rulebook. Huh?
Can we just say, like, can he actually, like, I don't know, shoulder the weapon and maybe blast it? Because the Codex has him blasting through a chaos space. But now it's just like,
I still think he's shooting at something.
Well,
you know what?
On the
If
rulebook
he's-
cover, he's shooting at something.
yeah, but that's a Dark Angel. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Maybe he's
Oh,
just
just know how to
American.
pose. That's what it is.
Maybe he's just American. It's the 4th of July. You know.
This is a British company.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying that specific
Well,
Space
ultramarines,
Marines. might-
blue.
And red.
Yeah.
There's white on
And
there.
there's white.
That's still the British colors too. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Stop being anti-us.
Totally anti-us.
You
and
terrorist.
So, like, it goes through a lot of stuff. The biggest thing they really mark out with this is the psychic powers.
Yep.
Right.
I'm sure many of you people, if you've spent time on the internet, have seen the pictures of the psychic tables
Sure,
that
on
are
page
in
99.
This book. Yep.
And
A lot of anger, a lot of happiness coming out of that.
like going off of it, okay, for most people, like being the Eldar players, we were not happy when we found out Eldar only got 2 psychic powers. Now, the general
That was a great moment.
response with that is, why are the beings who basically grew up when bored are the equivalent of a Psycho Primaris for the Imperial Guard only have 2 psychic powers? But then you
voice of reason
read,
happened.
when you read because they do throw in a picture of the cards that you can read one of the psychic powers on them, they kind of gave them one of the more awesome psychic powers.
Yeah, no, divination's gonna be pretty. I think they're all gonna be broken. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but divination's gonna be pretty awesome.
Like, the psychic powers came back in a way that when a Codex gets their powers, and if it's dead, you know, you look into your Codex, oh, it's got this, and you look to the Dark Angel, you go, and we're going to skip the Librarian section. But when you look
We
at
can
them,
have one.
Yeah,
seems,
I don't even get them.
Yeah, but you don't like them.
That's okay.
That's true.
But
They're mutant scum.
as cool as the psychic powers can feel tailored towards your army, it's still like, it feels kind of not run down, a little bit watered down, a little bit not quite like what you expect the fluff of, like you read about these beings, like, and I can tell what's gonna happen, or I can do this, and then you have this, which opens up doors.
Or like a good example is like when you play against, you know, Ultramarines versus Dark Angels. Oh, how cute! You picked a librarian. That's cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
What's he
Where
do?
then if you read like one of their books, it's like their librarians could teleport them and a squad of Deathwings into a building without any problems.
And the thing also is I think they're bringing Psyker back.
Yeah.
And
They know where it's at.
Yeah, it's in 6th. And the point is that 4th edition, if you were around for that, they were used. Like, you had Librarian builds, you had Eldar Farseer builds, you had Sorcerer, you had builds for that. 5th edition came out, and everybody kind of went,
I'm still stuck on bringing Psyker back.
So, 5th edition came out, and Psykers either felt really watered down, felt kind of lackluster, and just felt like, you know what, I'm better off taking a captain than taking this librarian, because the captain is just gonna destroy things with his blades. And now I think 6th edition people are gonna be going, you know what, I forgot I have Psykers in my codex, let me try them out again.
Now, just to confirm with people, like there's been a lot of confusion over the internet with this. They are not mixable with 5th ed. And by this I mean, let's just say, for example, you have you have Dark Angels, and you're like, I'm going to finally play a librarian. I'm going to give him Hellfire and Hellfire and a divination power can't work. If you're picking from your codex, you have to stick with your codex power list, and you can't pick anything from 6th ed. If you pick 6th ed, you can't then go 6th ed and one from 5th.
But this is for an individual
models.
Yeah.
Now, say if we take that same thing, you have a Dark Angel Librarian and you have Ezekiel. You give the Dark Angel Librarian 5th ed codex powers, and you decide I want Ezekiel to have 6th ed. You can do that. You can have different librarians going on the different categories. They just can't mix and match their faves.
And just to clarify, by 5th ed we mean the codex power.
Yes.
I don't mean like, because 5th ed has nothing in the book. So
yeah.
you would pick one dudesman. He's got some 6th ed power, and the other dudesman, he's gonna have his codex powers, and the two of them are in the same army list, but they each, it makes your psyker more versatile, because it's like, especially for Dark Games, but
It
even
opens
anyway.
a lot.
And Eldar also get a big
lot.
thing.
Another thing is this issue of White Dwarf does explain how
you can
taking
do that.
powers until you get like a new codex.
And they give you tips and tricks, and they do confirm that 6th ed is not the only part of the psychic powers. Other codexes will add to it.
Yeah.
Like, so those who are going, why don't orcs have it? Well, they outright say orcs do the warp differently, so we're gonna be having fun when their codex comes out.
When it comes
I hope
down
they
to
do.
it, it's going to be, the psychic power is going to work almost exactly the same way magic works in fantasy right now. You're going to have whatever you have in your codex, and then your codex will tell you you can take this stuff from the main book, and you can mix and match that way. Once it starts happening, we get our first true 6th edition codex. So it'll be fine. It should be fun, it should be different. It's a little random, but it works. I mean, it works fine in fantasy. Most people think it's a little overpowered, some people do, but overall it works fine. It's a nice change.
And from what we've been hearing, two things is, if you read like 2 White Dwarf issues back ago, or 3, I forget which, there were 2 new Tyranid models that they brought out. And they've said those will give you like an example of how the codexes will read, and what we're kind of working with how these new characters and codexes will work on. Also, from what I've heard, they're trying desperately to make this a new 3rd edition. By that, if anyone looks down the line, 3rd edition had the longest run.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring that back and make 6th ed last. So now I guess we should go off to what are everyone's like hopes and dreams and wishes for 6th ed, and we'll start with you.
Well, I came into the game during 5th ed. My big concern, and I'm sure I'm just being silly, is once the new codices drop, like, I don't want to have to completely rebuild my army lists, because it's been hard enough for me to actually put together an army with what I've had. So if it's like, hey, new special rule that completely changes up how you might be able to play these guys, or taking out a special rule, like my orcs pretty much rely on Wazdaka being the guy who lets you take bikes as troop choices. If suddenly that's gone, which not entirely likely, I know, but if that's suddenly gone, well, crap. Aside from that, I also hope that whenever we do get a new orc codex, I hope it's full of all sorts of just orky nonsense.
The way it should be.
I remember before I started playing, way back, there was just so much absurd orc stuff, like roll this and maybe all your dudes just explode. I liked that because I don't care about winning.
Starcore?
I think, first off, I want a nice balanced game, which I think we might actually get with 6th edition. But going past that, there are going to be rules for allies or detachments or whatever in the core 6th edition army rulebook. And we don't know a lot about it yet, but I am hoping that they work in such a way that I can actually take my Inquisitors and Assassins, which have been all pushed into the Grey Knights Codex, and I don't want to play that book, and actually use them with my other armies, because the Assassins are some of my favorite things, and I'd like to have my Sisters of Battle again, or any army I play.
James?
Well, as far as 6th ed goes, you don't want it to be too technical, you don't want any rule book to be too technical, where it's cool for us because we were in it. We still have to, everybody has to kind of relearn the game a bit, but we kind of are on that road already. You don't want somebody coming in to go, well, I don't know what this is even about, I just feel too over my head. So I'm hoping that it doesn't go technical wise, because 3rd ed, it had the longest run. It was kind of like the Renaissance period for 40K, but it also had a lot of like nitpicky little rules in it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are just always all sorts of annoying because even if you're not doing it on purpose, just you forget the one little thing. Like on a Tuesday, if you're playing a Space Marine army, you have to give your opponent a sandwich. You forget that.
Unless it's the second Tuesday of the month.
It's true, and you don't want, and that's the type of stuff that you got. I'm being
Then they give
exaggerating,
you a
of course.
sandwich.
But that's the other type of thing. And what I'm really hoping for is not even with the rulebook. I'm sure the rulebook will be fine. Rulebooks always seem to be fine enough to learn and game with. It's the codices that I'm worried about. I want Tau and Black Temple to get their codex before 9th edition comes around. I would love for them to be updated. And
I miss Tau.
I'm just hoping also in this run, if they try and make like 3rd, becomes a long enough run where you actually have every army that's out there now get a 6th edition book and not be like, so, and 7th edition's here. Like, I hope like we're able to get an update for everybody and then they can play for a bit.
Yes, believe it or not, for everybody, when 3rd Ed was out, I think the Tyranids were the only ones that didn't have a codex, but near the last 3 years of its run, they did get one. So at one point, every codex was 3rd edition.
Some still are.
Yes, some still are. One thing that I really am hoping for and looking forward to with this game is mainly 2 things with it. The first thing is with the codexes. I know most people are going to be like highly doubtful because of GW's reputation and track record, that they give every codex the Space Marine treatment. And by this I mean, let's face it, before the Eldar were the poster child, now it's the Space Marines. And if you really looked in 5th Ed, nobody played anything but Space Marines, because if you played anything else, it was an uphill battle up the Empire State to try and win against the Space Marine army.
Until towards the end of 5th when some
they have been going a little bit better with like the Necrons and the Dark Eldar. They'd get a little bit of Space Marine love, so I'm hoping they do that, focusing on Space Marine love, because it not only makes it more balanced, it also makes it, gee, everyone's bought everything for Space Marines, why aren't they buying this army?
Right, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
The more they care about other armies, the more those other armies will be bought, basically.
Yeah, it's a self-sustaining cycle of everybody buys Space Marine.
The other thing is, this is now a personal thing, because yes, I'm a big Dark Angels fan, I'm also a huge Eldar fan. They were my first army, they were the ones I learned the game with. I want there to be enough rule sets, and I want the Eldar to get their we break the rules thing back again. Mainly because if you really look at them now, they're bad. They drop like a hat.
I don't want to say they're bad, but they're definitely very hard to play well.
And so but in 3rd Ed, they were basically the same. Like, they will drop to last pistol fire without an armor save. They will, AP5 killed them. They were, rolled 3s and 2s to, murder them. But what they had was our plasma weapons don't get hot. Our guns don't jam. They had this beautiful thing called the Crystal Targeting Matrix. We move full out, we can shoot one weapon. Bring that back for them with 6th Ed, especially if the rules on turbo boosting are true. That's one thing I want, is I want the Eldar to get their balance, not from how awesome their dudes are and what their abilities are capable. I want their I want their Space Marine love to be the fact that they bend the rules to make them compatible. Sort of like how they did. It proves, their quick wit, their intelligence, and their technology all in one jive without making them overly broken.
Eldar are tricksy.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's the thing. They don't win by superior numbers or firepower or technology. They win by just cheating.
Well, their cheating is also part of their technology, because like their star cannons are. For those who don't know, who jumped in before, who jumped in after 3rd, a star cannon is a plasma gun that says it doesn't get hot. And in the 3rd edition, it outright said, a star cannon is a plasma cannon. Unlike a plasma cannon, it does not overheat on the roll of a 1. And I think their shuriken I think their scatter lasers were autocannons, and they said they function like autocannons, but they do not jam on a roll of a 1. So that was where they got their. And plus also it made people want to play people who played Eldar, because they wanted to prove they can beat them even though they're breaking the rules.
It just makes, you just want everything to get treatment so they all seem appealing. I like Tau. Tau are not appealing right now. You know what else is not appealing right now? Terran is, and they're pretty cool. But I mean, part of it is the Space Marinism. Is that Space Marines are just cool. If you say no, you're lying. Space Marines are like they're the cool guy. I mean, they got the big, cool, bulky armor of awesomeness. They got the gun of shoot grenades.
They have the coolest gun in the world.
They have superior genetics in them over a regular person. They can like live in space and be like whatever. I mean, like they're designed to be the cool. And then you have like Imperial Guard, who just because they now can just do whatever they want because they're Imperial Guard with their abilities now. But you didn't get that guy's like, hi, I'm a dude. So you want everybody to be appealing in one way or another. And aside from the Taos sounding cool, they're not appealing. So hopefully the Codices do get that treatment.
Yeah, and so I think, does anyone else have anything else to say about this?
No, I think we're good.
Yep, okay, well, we kind of went a little long with this, so we're going to keep this as is right now. So, thank you everyone for watching.
Yes.
Stay tuned later for more stuff, comments, you know, what you feel about 6th edition, subscribe, like, check us out on Twitter and Facebook, and stay tuned, because again, big giant battle stuff, and once 6th edition hits, we've got a little surprise video series for you all I think you'll all enjoy.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yes, fun for all. So,
Except for this guy. No fun for him.
I make my own fun.
It's true. So, until next time, fearless gamers, take care.
Peace.
Bye.
It was a bad first
Hi, Mom. Are we filming?
Yes.
Yes, we have that on film.